Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2024. In the last video, we played a dozen games or so, and we got to the end of December in the third season, and we're looking at a record of, quite honestly, I can't exactly remember the exact 15 and 20 here on December the 30th. And that's not great. That's not really what we're shooting for, but sometimes these things they sort of play out on their own. We'll see what happens. The trade deadline's coming up. I might make a few moves. I will say, I did have a suggestion in the comments on one of the recent videos from, I think the name is John Maloney. I apologize if I got that wrong. He said that maybe Joe Russell, who he drafted in the draft this year, maybe his star rating in the draft is more accurate than his star rating here. And that could be possible. It's actually possible that there's something going on about this game that I may not know or fully understand. It was always my understanding that this is their current rating, and this here is what they could grow into. And he mentioned that on the college version of these games that there are times where the star rating here isn't accurate. And I have played the college version, or at least I played College 23, and the only time I can ever recall seeing that is if you accept a transfer from another school. There are times where a player's rating will just show half a star, but are those instances all of their overalls here all have question marks? It's almost as if it's not really their rating. It's just that you haven't had a proper scouting report on them. And honestly, I really don't like that in those games, because if they're on your team, you should know what their attributes are. I don't know why you still have question marks on those attributes when they're on your team, practicing with your team, and playing games. And you might think, well, maybe initially that makes sense, but as the player plays games and you're seeing what their tendencies are, then these ratings might become revealed. But no, that's not the case. They stay question marks the entire time, and it's really aggravating, to be honest with you. It's one thing I don't like about the college version, the Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2023. It's one of the things I found I don't quite like about that game. It could be I'm missing something. It could be there's a way to reveal those attributes. But here in this game, these attributes are revealed to us, and we can see, at least based on these ratings, I think the 1 star to 1.5 is probably accurate for Joe Russell if this rating is based off of these attributes. So I don't think it's the same thing unless I'm missing something, which is always possible. Someone might know whether I'm right or wrong and can maybe give more clarification. It'd be appreciated. Uh, but I think that this is probably an accurate rating, and that the ratings that we saw for Joe Russell while we were doing the draft were just what the scouts thought and what the media thought. And you see that every year in basketball. You see media hype up a player, and maybe even scouts hype up a player, and then when the player gets on the court, they're actually not very good. And I think that's what happened with Joe Russell. And I do like that that's a feature in the game because that does happen in real life. So it's a representation of that put into this game. And I actually do like that, even though we were unfortunate victims of that. I think that's what happened here, personally. But if anybody has any clarification as to if whether I might be wrong, then feel free to say something, because further understanding of what's going on with this game can only lead me to having more success on this game, which is the ultimate goal in this series. So feel free to comment if you think I might be mistaken. But we'll move on. We'll go ahead and move on to the next game. As you can see, though, he's, I mean, he's taken 7 shots the entire year. He's hit 6 of them. So, I mean, that's pretty good. But it could be that he's just coming in and he's got plenty of energy because he doesn't play a lot and he doesn't have any fatigue factor, and that could be it. But I think I don't want to risk putting too much playing time into Joe Russell, because I think he really is legitimately just a 1-star, potentially 1.5-star player. And with all that being said, we'll go ahead and get started here. We have no injured players as it stands, so we'll go ahead and simulate this game. And we won, and we also leveled up, so 2 great things there. I'll go ahead and go to my office. All right, that seems pretty good. Going with those. I do want to look at the box score to that win we just had to see what went on exactly. Aaron Fortson with 29 points, a block and a steal, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Once again, player of the game. Parker with 15 off the bench. Bennett with 22 and 10, a double-double there. Barnes with 15. So a pretty good game overall, except for maybe for Ramsey, who went 1 for 5, but he got in foul trouble, looks like. So did Colin. So we are turning the ball over an absurd amount, though, which bothers me. Look at this. Look at all these turnovers. We do have more assists than turnovers, but I mean, 25 to 21 is not really a great assist to turnover ratio. We're shooting well, though. Not particularly from the free throw line. Anyway, we'll keep going on. There's actually another game right here the very next day against the Spartans. I'll go ahead and play this one. Okay, there's a loss. No games on this day. Part of me thought about getting to the end of February in this video. That way the next video we can focus on the trade deadline. But I don't know if I want to make this video that long or not. I've already made it a little bit longer with me just talking. Let's check the depth chart here. I did not think initially when I made the last video I would be able to upload a video today. Joe Russell is injured. But actually here in eastern Kentucky, there is a lot of slick roads right now. So I actually did not get out and go to work today. I was able and afforded to be able to stay home and not have to get out on the roads. I don't know if the same case will be for tomorrow. As it stands, I'm taking it on a day-by-day basis. So everyone stay safe out there on the roads. If you have to get out, just try to make the best decisions possible. All right, we got the Pioneers here in this game. I think we're ready to play it. So let's go ahead and simulate. Okay. Another loss. Let me see, we are 38 games in now. So I'd like to play until, let's see, maybe do 6 more games. I'm sure there's a way you can look at the schedule. It's sort of a longer. Wait a minute, I bet I know how to do it. Here we go. Let's see. Let's try to get down to like this Golden State Spartan games. This Golden State Spartans game here, and then maybe in the next video we can play up to, we'll do just a few games, play up to the beginning of February, and then do some trade deadline brainstorming in the next video. I think that's how I'll do that. Because I have to try something. I don't know what, in terms of our strategy, I don't know what else to do. The offensive pace for a grind is slow, and we have our pace set to pretty slow. I have our rebounding turned up, and it doesn't seem to be helping. Our assist numbers are down, our turnover numbers are up. We're not scoring a lot of points, so we're really not doing, we're doing pretty bad in a lot of different categories. But grind, I mean, I try the other offenses, and grind seems to work the best, even though it doesn't always particularly work great. I need to look at the depth chart. I will say this though, I don't care how long it takes, and I don't care how many people watch. I really enjoyed this game. I've been enjoying this series. I want to keep playing, and I'm going to keep recording, and I'm going to keep uploading, and I'll appreciate whoever watches. If you don't watch, that's fine too. It might even be insane. But you know what? I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to keep trying. One of these seasons, we're going to be freaking awesome. Let's go. And we got to win. Maybe maybe somehow the team just heard my speech there. All right. Looks like after just one game, Daniels is back. Go ahead and let's flip things around a little bit. Put Barnes back in. And let's do this. We actually have no games on this day, so we'll go. I do want to go back and look at the. I like looking at the box scores for the games I win because I like looking to see how I won and who the player of the game was. Usually it's almost always Fortson. Oh, I was looking at that's the other team. Parker with 12. Bennett with another double-double, 16 and 13. Ramsey with 17. Cullen, once again, not a great game. Foul trouble, once again. Just 13 minutes. It's like one injured player. I already got this set up. Sometimes with these games, it's just okay. I don't have this set up actually. Because Cullen's injured with a bruised shoulder. One year on, I think it was Pro Basketball 2020, I think. The very first team that was generated to me had 3 5-star players. And immediately in the first 2 seasons, I won back-to-back championships and didn't do a thing. Which is very fortunate in that I got that kind of hand, but also a little bit boring because I didn't have to do anything and I was just awarded that. I remember that from a few years ago. I think it was 2020. Anyway, let's we won that game actually against a really good team. So I'm surprised. Fortson had 47 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. Bennett with 17 and 17, man. Lopez 8 and 5. Only 2 turnovers. We still have 21 turnovers to their 14. But we won, so I can't complain too much. Our shooting is really good, it seems like. We just can't hang on to the ball. All right. Sorry. There was some kind of rather large vehicle moving down the road. All right, so Outlaws versus Condors here in the next game. Looks like we just have Colin is still out, I would assume. Yeah, he's the player still out. So let's play this game. And we got another win. I'm starting to think more and more we don't need Colin. We can trade him away, run with Lopez the rest of the season, and get a point guard in the off season. Fortson once again with 22 points. Williams at 16, man, off the bench. 6 of 11 is not bad. +8 and a plus-minus. Pretty good game from him. Lopez with 10 points, 5 assists, 1 turnover. Turnovers were cut down a little bit in that game, but so were theirs. They just had 12. 23 to 12. Ours was 19 to 15, so still not that great, really, if you want to look at assist to turnover. There's that game. Low scoring game, but I don't care. I don't care if it's like 25 to 22. Actually, I'd hope you would score more points than that, but as long as I get the win, that's the main thing. And here we got the Knights, who are have always been good since we started this whole thing. And we got 2 injured players. And let's see who's injured. Oh, it looks like Lopez is out now. The sore leg. And Bennett is also out with a sore leg. Wow. There's a bit of sore leg going around. Colin, Fortson, Ramsey, Barnes, Parker, Daniels, Williams, Sonny, Martin. Okay, that looks pretty good. And a loss, but that was to a good team. All right, here we have the Blast, who are also a good team. Looks like Russell's out this time. Bennett is out, so Lopez should be healthy once again. Looks like. Yeah, that looks good to me. We'll run with this. Let's go. Okay. A loss, but a close game. No games on this day. All right, we got the Outlaws here. Everybody is healthy, which is great. Man, lose a couple. Or I'm sorry, win a couple, lose a couple, win a couple, lose a couple. Seems to be the pattern. Got the Moose here. And once again, no injured players, so I'm going to go ahead and play this game. We're actually a favorite in this game. Hey, they have Derek Spurgeon, if you remember. He used to be on the team. Pretty good player. Man. All right, so we are 19 and 26. So we're 45 games in. I think that's where I'll stop for this video. I'm not as long a video as the other ones, but I also didn't expect to be able to upload tonight. And here we are on the outside looking in, looks like, at least currently, but very close. Man, this is a close race here from Denver all the way down to Los Angeles. This like 7 to 12 spot is just up for grabs. And in the East, you kind of have one dominant team in Chicago Bison, and then there's kind of a very gradual, there's a big drop off, and then just a gradual decline after that for the rest of the conference. Here it's kind of the same way in the West. I mean, it looks like you have a dominant Phoenix versus a dominant Chicago coming up in the finals, which I think is that what it's been the last couple of years? You can look at the almanac and actually figure it out. Yeah, it looks like you had the first year was Chicago and Phoenix. The second year was Phoenix and Indiana. So doesn't look like too much has changed in the few years so far. The same teams are kind of still being dominant, which that happens a lot. You sort of a lot of times in the NBA have a gradual change. Occasionally you will have those years where you have a team that's just terrible and then they'll make some kind of big move in the off season and then they become the favorites. The Celtics did that in 08, if you remember. But it did, and the Heat did that, I guess, in 2011 when they got LeBron and Chris Bosh. But usually, I don't even, if I'm remembering right, that Heat team before that, I don't remember how the 2010 Heat were exactly. I do remember the 07 Celtics were really particularly bad, and then they got really good in 08 when they acquired Garnett and Ray Allen. Anyway, I'm rambling now, talking about things that have nothing to do with this video. I just like to ramble about basketball. But I think that's all I'm going to do for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, maybe I can upload one tomorrow. It depends on my work situation. If I had to guess, I would say that most likely, I don't want to say one way or another, to be honest with you. We'll see what happens. It's possible I can upload tomorrow, maybe. Kentucky also plays tomorrow, so that always factors in. Because I always make sure I watch my Kentucky games. But with that being said, hope you enjoyed this video and stay safe out there. And if you like the video, keep coming back. Also, check out my series on Evoland, which I may upload another video of that tonight as well. I'm really enjoying that. And all that said, see you next time.